Alright, hey guys, I'm not using the tripod for this video. I'm trying something different here. So this ceiling fan here is actually one that I got last week, I think it was. But I got this from the same place that I got the Hunter Comfort Breeze that you saw in my last video. Um, and this one actually came from that, well, it came from that same house. While the other one was removed for me already when I got there, I actually pulled this one out myself. Um, I went over and I took it down myself on, I think it was Saturday, yeah. And they gave me everything with it. They gave me the fan, the swag kit that it was wired up to, and the speed control. So I'll show you those in a moment. But this fan is it's a Montgomery Ward Evergo spinner, 48-inch. It's in white and it's got the polished brass accents, the pinstripe blade badges, and the nut. And it may look familiar if you remember back in December I picked up an Evergo spinner, not unlike this one. The only difference is that that one was brown and this one's white. And yeah, this is actually the exact same model as that one, same model number and everything. Um, so I thought it was interesting that they just kept the model number and just, changed the finish. So, well, first of all, the swag kit, you can see I have it wired up to, just draped over the gas pipe there. And it goes down here to this speed control, which is a solid state speed control. It's a cardboard box, solid state unit in there, and it was mounted to this. It's a wire mold back box here, but the way they wired it was they just used this regular lamp cord. So I think this was actually the swag kit cord that they just cut, and they put this wire mold back box with this cardboard box solid state on. So yeah, they let me remove this as well. They were selling the house apparently, so that's why they let me just remove it, and I didn't have to put up a replacement or anything. I unscrewed the J-hook from the ceiling and everything. It was screwed directly to the structure, the beam in the ceiling. And apparently this setup was installed by the owner's father, I think, like back in 1980, I think she said. The date might be a little off there, because I think this fan was made in, gosh, I don't know, probably like 85. I don't know if I had to guess, because it's not dated. But a characteristic that the brown one that I have has is that that one's reversible, and it has a reverse switch on the lower canopy. And I'm not sure if you can see up there, but this one also is reversible. It has a reverse switch on the lower canopy. However, this one's just a regular slide switch. The brown one that I have has a rocker switch, like the... I'm not sure which style is older, actually. I think this style may be a bit older. I think because the rocker switch was also used on the later Evergo banana fans with the spinner motor, so this one might be just a little bit older than that brown one, but I'm just guessing, I don't know. So, this one it's in okay cosmetic condition, but the bearings are in rough shape. It makes a little bit of motor noise as well, so I guess I'll let you go ahead and see the fan in action. Start it up on high. And you can hear how noisy those bearings are. Thing sounds like a train. Although despite its horrific bearing noise, it is a very powerful fan, and it is in perfect balance. I didn't have to do anything to it. When I got it, it was already balanced. That could also be because these are so heavy. They have heavy cast iron motors. The motor is made by Union, by the way. So now I'm going to back it off a little bit. Bring it down to like a medium high. I did, when I got it, the low speed trim had been turned up really high on the speed control, and the low it was giving me was basically like a medium. So I did adjust the low speed trim, just to give it like a better restaurant low. That's more of a like high speed of a modern fan. That's kind of like a medium high. So I take back what I said about it having a motor noise. The motor isn't that loud. It's more bearing noise than motor noise. I think this thing has been run for like 24/7 for a pretty long period of time at some point in its life. Because it was running when I went and picked up the Comfort Breeze a couple weeks ago. And it was running when I got there to take it down. So they clearly got their use out of it. Ooh, I was accidentally turning it up. Okay, I'm gonna bring it down to like a nice medium speed. So that's about how fast it was going on the low speed before I changed the low speed trim. That's an okay medium speed. And I'm gonna back it down all the way to low. So it does not stall out on low. I made sure to make sure, and it can start up on low as well. I made sure to make sure that it could do that. Made sure to make sure, yes. That's exactly what I meant to say. Yeah, so while it does seem like it does go pretty slow, this motor does have enough torque, even with those bad bearings, to make it spin on this slow speed, and it is a very nice restaurant low. It's almost completely silent. There is just a little bit of motor hum, actually. But surprisingly, the bearings are pretty silent at this speed. And this is just a very nice aesthetic slow low. I love it. And you can still feel a slight breeze from it, which is something I really like about these older fans. Especially with these nice wide blades. Alright. So I'm going to bring it back up to high. Actually, I can show you turning the knob up. See, it's unfortunate that for all those years it never had a good range of speeds because they didn't have this low speed trim set properly. Alright, so now I'm going to do a spin down just to test those bearings. I've never really done spin downs on this channel before, but I figure since some people like them, I should start doing them. This one seems like it's gonna have a pretty short one anyway, based on those noisy bearings. It's taken its time, actually. Those noises are from the washing machine. Oh yeah, that thing is a little stiff. A little stiff, a lot stiff. This thing's gonna need new bearings at some point in its life. And I definitely do plan to get it new bearings because I do like this fan a lot. So once again, there's a swag kit. Actually, I'm not done. I still have to show it in reverse. So I'll flip the reverse switch. And I'm going to start it up on low this time just to show you that it does start on... Okay, as I said, it does start on low. It didn't start. But in forward, it does start on low. That's probably because it hasn't been run in reverse for most of its life. Because it was running in forward when I was there every time. So yeah, it can start on low. There's definitely like stiff spots in the bearing. You can definitely feel it. like when you rotate the motor by hand. And I did try like shooting some WD-40 on the top bearing. It didn't really do much, if anything. You can't really reach the bottom bearing without taking the motor apart, which I have to do anyways to replace the bearings, so I'll just do that at some point. So that's its nice, slow, low. I'm gonna bring it up. This motor noise. It's a very minor cyclic buzz. It does very much remind me of the Kodep spinner at my aunt and uncle's old house, though. Except theirs had good bearings. Alright, slowly taking it back up to high. That's sort of a medium high almost. Maybe a little faster. And there's high. Whoa, just ran right into something. So yeah, definitely a good air mover. Okay, turn it off. Already did spin down. Yeah, those bearings definitely need a replacing. Another interesting thing, when I got it, both the blade badges, all 4 blade badges, and the faceplate on the speed control still had their protective film. So you can see here I've removed them actually. These are the blade badges ones. And they're covered in like nicotine tar because this was a smoker's house. And this is the one for the speed control, as you can see. So very, very fortunate that I was able to remove those. I love doing that. It's very, very satisfying. So, and then the other thing was the label on top of the motor. Here's a reverse switch. I gotta flip it back to forward. So that's the one for the keeping the blades 7 feet off the floor, and I just hit the camera. I apologize. Okay. So it's a little hard to see, but underneath of the upper canopy it does say Montgomery Ward. But it says Montgomery Ward AC ceiling fan, 48-inch model, 4E-3LW, 42270. That must be the serial number. 110 volt, 60 hertz. Listed. Oh, I don't know. I can't see the amperage. Looks like 1.2 amps. Listed fan. Evergo Industrial Enterprise, Limited, made in Hong Kong. And like I said, this motor is made by Union Electric Industrial Manufacturing in Hong Kong. So, yeah. Got your bell canopy up there. And the brown one that I have is right here. I don't know where the blades to it are. They're somewhere on one of the shelves, but this is the motor. And you can clearly see they're basically the same. Although this one's got that rocker style reverse switch like I was talking about here. You can see. And then that one's got the regular slider reverse switch like a regular fan of today that you would see. So I think that's it for this video, so thank you for watching. That has been the Evergo, the white Montgomery Ward Evergo spinner. So thank you for watching, and more to come.